Good morning. It's the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff, and what a beautiful morning for crappy football it is. Crappy weather, crappy football. We're here with you.
My.
Got Blaine Bishop, the hitman, over to my right.
In the house.
We got Buck Rising over here to the left. Do you have a nickname?
Yeah.
Is there one that's FCC
not
friendly?
FCC safe,
Okay.
but depends on who you ask.
Oh, well.
There you go.
Stealer of joy.
The Stealer of Joy.
Yes,
Thief
yes.
of Joy.
Mr.
Buck, the Thief of Joy
I'm
Rising.
sorry, I didn't realize we were going to have
disappointing,
mouth-breathing Ross on the microphone this morning, too.
That's right.
Oh, Ross. Your favorite.
Boo. Boo.
Ross said he has your leather gloves there in the studio, keeping his hands nice and warm, too, by the way.
What are the chances I don't fall off the back of this?
I don't know. Kirby said
We're on an elevated surface.
Kirby
for
puts
those who
baby
don't know.
oil on the stage, and now it's just kind of slippery, and I've never torn my ACL, but, boy, I feel like this will be a possibility.
Every time I step on this thing, I get a little wobbly.
what are we
It's a
doing?
little scary up here. I'm not going to lie.
Kirby, man, come on, Kirby Allen. Kirby, you've been doing this just for at least, a couple weeks.
Scary football. Scary pregame.
And you thought
scary
Halloween
weather.
was over, but it's going to be a frightening day for the Tennessee Titans.
It was a frightening day last night for the Vol fan.
Yeah, I'll tell you that
Ugh.
much. I mean, there's going to be a lot of talk about Josh Heupel and his ceiling with this University of Tennessee team. But this is the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff. All you need, visit them online at leecompany.com. The Titans trust their home stadium to Lee Company, tackle their heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical problems, and they protect your home too. Your next play, visit leecompany.com. Lee Company, all you need. Do you guys want to start with trade rumors? I mean, a lot of trade rumors circling around this morning.
Yeah, we got to get the groomers in.
Yeah, got to get them. Ian Rappaport is really the one guy in national media so far that has been really pounding the table that Calvin Ridley is on the is about to be traded. Yeah, Diana Rossini says Pollard, Sweat, Key, and Jones. Tavondre Sweat being the name that's popping up recently. I know that your show, but the Buck Rising show and Cover 2, when Jarvis Brownlee Jr. got traded, our immediate reaction was Tavondre Sweat's next.
Yep.
And that seems to be the guy most gaining traction right now. So, Buck, I mean, Tavondre Sweat, how likely it is, do you think today is his last game?
I would be surprised if he got traded this year. But I do think that it's something that you have to start to think about. And if you think that they haven't considered it as an option, as an organization, then you're not paying attention to what this front office structure is set out to do. I think that if they got the right offer, they'd take it today on Tavondre Sweat. I think that would be a trade outside of Jeffrey Simmons that Titans fans would be bothered by, to put it diplomatically.
But what is that right offer, though, Buck? I don't know. I know you and Zach probably know a little bit better than me about, what's the value you think he could get this year in a trade, being that he was a second-round pick.
Yeah, he's the 38th overall pick, which is why this is annoying, Blaine, because they didn't get value on Jarvis Brownlee. And you could argue that they didn't get the most amount of value out of Roger McCreary, but that might be nitpicking. And they're sure as hell not getting a second-round pick back for Tavondre Sweat if they do choose to move him. So if I was a Titans fan, I would be deeply annoyed by the idea that not only are you not in a situation where you're just even trying to build something towards the future with what you've got, you're going to continue to chip this thing away to try and get draft capital that isn't commensurate based on the draft capital that was already spent on these guys. So I would be surprised. It doesn't mean it can't happen. Somebody can always swoop in and say, sure, we'll give you a third for Tavondre Sweat, and that be enough for the Titans front office to move him. I would be surprised if it was that high. Certainly.
Well, how low will you go, though?
Well,
I think that.
There's different questions here. How low would we go,
Yeah.
or how low would the Titans go? Because the Titans have proven they'll go as low as possible.
They can't go below a fifth, right?
I mean, they can't. They should.
They should.
Yeah,
Okay.
they should.
But they may.
Yeah.
Now-
based off how they've been responding to all the other trades.
Well, the
There's
thing
a possibility.
thing that's different about him versus McCreary, for example, is that he's got multiple years left on his deal. This is only his second year in the league. He costs, just over $600K this year. If you were to acquire him as a team, that does mean that you should have better leverage if you were to consider offers. But again, they have to be willing to negotiate on this front and not just take whatever is given to them because they want their own guys as a front office structure, and Tavondre Sweat was not one of their guys.
How much I get that that's commonplace in the league, but it seems like they're taking it to certain extremes because this is a roster that is starving for talent, and by giving away food, you're going to be starving even more. Like, you're starving the kids out here with this team.
Well, I don't think that's commonplace in the league. That's what's so surprising to me.
Well, I would say this is extreme, but I mean, most guys, one or two players here and there, and this usually happens at free agency.
But
and of course, their messaging that's being sent out to certain media and everything is like, oh, this is so commonplace. Not young players like this.
Nah.
And they keep using the term culture fit. Well, should the GM be responsible for the culture fit? Because I always think it should be the players and the coaches that dictate the culture, and it doesn't seem like the players and the coaches have an issue with these players like GM does.
Well, it's because they don't have power.
Yeah.
The power's in the GM and the CEO.
Right.
So they're not building the culture. They're building the culture that they want, and that's all highly, I guess let's say leaderish type, stay in your lane type guys, not any rough around the edges. And they're going to find out that you need some of these guys that's rough around the edges. I'm sorry. And Brownlee and Sweat could be sometimes, maybe tough to deal with, maybe in different ways.
Right.
But I would
say... But they're also not the ones dealing with them.
Right, exactly. But if you have the right people, players and coaches there, they'll fall in line. They're not like rabble-rousers, like they're just hard to deal like that. So I don't
They're
buy...
not bad actors.
Yeah, so I don't understand that they don't fit their culture. Maybe they don't fit the profile of the player that they want. Guess what? There will not be a checklist of model players at every position, and if they think they're going to do that, we are in for a long, long haul. That is not true. Meeting all these measurables, meeting all these standards that every player is going to fit this kind of standard, I just don't buy into that, because guess what? The NFL has showed. That's why I said it's not the NFL standard. NFL standards would take somebody out of that building right over there, and they put them on the field. See, that's the NFL standard, because we'll get you for cheap.
Yeah.
See, so they'll take a criminal. So I mean, I don't understand what we're talking about here. They're talking about changing the culture. We've seen all this all around the league. So, and I've been around it since a long time, and it hasn't changed one bit. None. So I don't know kind of what their plan is. It seems scattered, but if they're ripping the Band-Aid off and they're saying they're going to the bare bones, even guys that was drafted last year and they're still young players, because their actions show that, and then people are still in their rookie contracts that are good players that start, hey, man, I just don't know how long do they think this is going to happen. They wanted 100 picks in 3 years. Well, they may come close. I don't think they're going to get it unless they plan on having the first pick or top 3 picks and they trade it.
There was 12 picks in the top 100 and 30 picks over the next 3 years.
Yeah.
So
you think they could get that?
Well, they're at 23 right now.
So they're on track.
They're on track.
See?
Hey, listen, it must be Sunday because you're preaching.
Well, guess what? Also, you must mix in, let's say, veteran-ish. And I'm just using him as an example. I didn't have an issue with the McCurry being traded, but like a player like that, or like a Chig, to me, someone who's proven that they can play in this league, whether they've been inconsistent or not, good, valuable, good guys who fit the mold of what they're looking for. I just feel like you got to mix the two. If not, you're making this process way longer than it ever could be.
Well, my big question is they're making these decisions about culture fit and about the players and all that kind of stuff, and I get it. But
that's an easy out to me.
Yeah, that's an easy out. We still don't know what the culture is, but also,
I do.
Well, what is it? Please tell us. Maybe it'll make me feel a little better.
Doing their
they're losers. Culture of losers.
You even got Kirby on that one, man. I thought you were going to have a bombshell.
I'm not
dropped in front of us.
Not
like
even
that.
kidding. The culture is losing. They're 1-7. Look at how sad this is today. I mean, come on.
Sad.
Like this is the thing that they have done to themselves, Blaine.
But they can't losing. Just think now, their jobs depend on this.
I know.
So it can't be losing. it's just that I don't understand. I wish they'd come out and kind of give us a little bit of plan. Maybe that happens after the season's up, but man, we got a little ways till that.
Well,
Like, at least give us at least a bye week. Maybe sit down and kind of have a soiree with the media and to kind of tell us a little bit what direction they're going, so we can feel
they are
somewhat
working
better
towards making Mike Borgonzi available after the trade deadline.
Okay.
So there you
All
go.
right. Oh, thank you.
So my question to Mike Borgonzi is you're making these decisions about the culture and these players don't fit. Are you just going to practice, or are you in the training room? Are you in the locker room? Are you
in the
actually
meeting rooms?
Are you meeting rooms? Are you actually getting to know these players, or are you making these decisions kind of, shielded off in an ivory tower? Like, I know you're at practice, but practice is only one part of building a culture. And so I want to know what it is about these players that were not culture fits. Because I don't think that, like, to your point, you have to have some dog.
Yeah.
You have to. You also have to have good players, right?
Yes.
Like, I don't get this idea of like, okay, I understand trading Roger McCreary. I don't understand trading both Jarvis Brownlee Jr. and Roger McCreary.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't understand trading Tavondre Sweat when you don't know who the next coach is going to be and what defensive coach would want Tavondre
And their
Sweat.
scheme and system and how he fits into it.
Unless they already know.
Maybe they do.
Maybe they already know. Maybe it's just going to be Mike McCoy, and we're all in, trapped in this hellscape forever.
Mike McCoy. Oh, the guy who's actually coach.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe it's just.
man.
What would you pull a Snead? Who?
Yeah, that was what it was supposed to be. Like, no, that's not going to give us all, Google and goosebumps there.
Yeah. Well, when we come back, we'll talk more about the trade rumors because Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard are two names that are on offense that are on the trading block allegedly. This is the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff. Lee Company. All you need is them online at leecompany.com, and this is 104.5 The Zone.
Workers out here.
It's the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff. Lee Company, all you need. Visit them online at leecompany.com. And today's broadcast is brought to you in part by SA Recycling. SA Recycling reminds you to be a good fan this game day and look for recycle bins in and around Nissan Stadium. They won't be hard to find because there's no fans covering them up. There's barely anybody here. We're
here, damn it.
We're across from parking lot G.
There we go.
Here.
We got the
one
fans.
guy.
Look at
Tighten up.
Look at a little girl in her bow. She's rocking it
that's
today.
cute. Right
We're across from parking lot G, which is typically filled with tailgates galore. Not one tailgate up. And I was like,
one has a tent, though. I mean, it's just sitting there, though.
There's
but
one
nobody's
sad
there.
tent.
Yeah, there's one sad tent. Nobody's
is
in
that a
it.
Halloween costume? What is that up there?
Oh, you got a Halloween costume?
I don't know. What is that? It looked like a trash bag.
Well, listen. I
like
bet
a big trash bag.
I bet you see plenty of bags over heads today.
Yeah.
I bet you see plenty of Amy Adams Strunk Clown Nose T-shirts today.
That's a thing?
I've heard they started banning certain shirts from being allowed to be worn.
I didn't ever know that was a thing.
Yeah, people have been selling them online. People are pissed. I mean, clearly. Look,
I heard last week someone had a personalized jersey that said "Sell the Team" on the back.
So now they're out here silencing the fan base with their discontentment.
Yeah.
You can't wear the shirts if you're going to come to our football games.
Isn't this is just a mess? It's a mess.
Man.
It is a mess.
Dang, I know it was Kirby wearing those shirts, too.
Well, he printed them. He made them.
He's made it into a business.
Yep. KirbyShirts.com.
That's that hustle game, man.
Go buy that on GoDaddy real quick, Kirby. Sell it to somebody. Well, that's the thing, though. Like, we're doing a pregame show, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What about this game actually matters beyond Cam?
That's it.
That's what I'm saying.
The defense doesn't matter because that's what they pretty much have told us, right?
Poor Denard Wilson.
Denard Wilson. Like, I feel bad for Denard Wilson, but I also remember he's probably get paid a little bit over $1 million.
Money's not everything.
Yeah.
Money's not everything. Would you take $1 million to coach this defense?
Listen, I would say I would resign.
Yeah.
Like if I was Denard Wilson, I may have resigned. Because
man.
this is just a mess. Like,
but just imagine if they play halfway decent, man. He looks like a man for his next job. Oh man, did you see what I did out there with the people?
Did you see who's playing corner for me?
Right. Say, hey man,
hire me.
Yeah, man, I did the most with less.
yeah.
Oh man, what is that?
Oof.
Metro Police.
It's an armored truck for if you.
It shocked me. Like, why do we have an armored Metro Police in an armored vehicle that?
In case you show up in your Amy Adams Strunk clown shirt.
Look, that thing looks like it's military.
That's what I'm saying. They're taking them seriously.
That's riot control.
Oh no! See, what
there ain't enough people here to have a riot, though.
Well, here's what I get concerned that do they know something we don't know? What is that out there?
Maybe they're coming to take us away.
If they're
what is happening here?
At a certain point, I'm sure that black car's coming for me at some point.
Oh, he's turning around now. Uh-oh, he heard you talking about him, bud. We come to get you.
It might be mercy at this point.
Oh,
listen, this defense doesn't matter. Special teams doesn't really matter. It's all about the offense. It's the only thing that anybody is coming here to watch is Cam Ward. Maybe Chimray DK to Cam Ward, but it all revolves around Cam Ward. And they're talking about getting rid of two pieces that Cam Ward uses in his Diana Rossini's report and Tony Pollard, but the asking price is allegedly pretty steep. And then Calvin Ridley is another guy that Ian Rappaport. And at this point, can either of you guys really make a good case as to why they should keep either of those players? Because at this point, the season doesn't matter. I mean, right? Like,
yeah, if someone gives me a draft pick, like, come on, man.
No swaps.
Yeah, we can't be doing it.
Swaps.
I can't give up less than a 5th round pick.
For either?
I just, no. Yeah. I think their salaries, maybe not Pollard so much. I think Pollard's around, 7 to 8 or so.
Yeah, and then half of that's pretty much already paid.
But they're going to have to pay, if they want to get rid of Ridley, maybe half of his salary or something. They're going to have to add something to that. I know if I was another team, if they watching him like how we've watched him over the last 2 years, his inconsistency, and then trying to put him in the middle of a season and think he's going to be productive consistently, I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. Nah, even what he brings to the table. Like, nah, I mean, we'll wait.
Would you even? That's the thing, though. Like, say the trade deadline comes and goes, and Calvin Ridley, there's no takers. for whatever reason, whether it's too expensive or the Titans just aren't super compelled to move him or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Wouldn't you say that the offense has been better without him?
Yeah, but also there's been a coaching change. And I don't know how much is the coaching change, how much is that just them getting Chimere DK involved.
But, like, you ran the numbers on us.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's better.
The offense is better without him.
Yeah, well, it's better without Callahan. I don't know if it's a Ridley thing as much as it's a Callahan thing.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you get Ridley, he is a plus to the offense because instead of Van Jefferson out there, you're going to have Calvin Ridley. And I think while Van Jefferson has been really good and is pretty reliable, Calvin Ridley adds an extra element to this offense, the speed, the deep playability, and he kind of does still garner some kind of attention, whereas likely maybe your number one corner on the defense that you're facing is going to be on Calvin Ridley, which maybe frees up Alec Iamana or Chimere DK a little bit better. Again, I feel like you should just go ahead and get rid of him because it seems like Alec may be hitting that rookie wall that we talk about, but the only way to get past the rookie wall is through it. So, like, just power through it. I mean, give him – I want the young guys to get as many reps as they can. I don't think Calvin Ridley eats into those reps, but he may eat into those targets.
I think that it would be interesting to see – the three of them on the field together. Because let me give Calvin Ridley a little bit of credit here. He was struggling, and then he came back. He played the game against Arizona, and it was as impactful as he's been at any point, right? The fourth quarter, we talk about it. Obviously, that was, an act of football God for them to win that game, but whatever. Like, they got it done in the fourth quarter. So then they come back against the Raiders, and Calvin Ridley gets hurt in that game, and we don't know what impact Calvin Ridley could have had. Would he have made a difference on a day that was horrendous offensively? We'll never have the answer to that question because Calvin Ridley started to have the hamstring issues in that game. He was questionable, and then he was ultimately ruled out. So we don't know what Calvin Ridley might be able to build upon from that Arizona performance where he was an impact player in the fourth quarter. They don't win that game without him. So I would like to see the two rookies and Calvin Ridley on the field at the same time together to see if that can be a more dynamic passing game for Cam Ward. But there's also the issue of the protection and the kind of the things that they've been just bogged down by. The fact that they can't run the football and that they've been so one-dimensional as a passing game and that they get down by 2 scores so early. And so even if you want to be committed to the run game, Blaine, you almost in good conscience cannot commit to it because you're chasing already.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting. It's one way how I feel, but their actions telling me they're trying to get rid of Ridley.
Yeah.
Because they want to play the young players and kind of start this process and kind of get a better look and feel what it's going to look like. And then can they have flexibility? Can they take a receiver in the second round or their second first-round pick, maybe take a pass rusher with the first one? I think they want to look at all of this because, you gave him credit, which you have to, players in the league for fighting through, having some tough time. But it was all by his own accord, though. Like, drop balls are on you, bro. Yeah. Like, so I can't pat him on the back when he's getting paid all this kind of money, man, and have these up and downs. So I don't like inconsistent players. First and foremost, consistent players are the better players because you know what you get, even though they don't give you the wow. Well, guess how many times he gave us that wow? You talk about the Arizona game. Well, guess what? We got lucky to get that one. Was that more him wow or just Arizona, peeing down their pants? I mean, like, really? So, I think they're going to try to get rid of him, and they're trying to move forward with their nucleus of young players matched up with Cam Ward. So I think they're going to try to move him, and I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't get the value that we all sitting here thinking they at least should get for a starter and the guy who has that kind of talent. So, I'm now that they've shown what direction they're going, I'm cool with getting rid of Ridley, even if it's a 5th-round pick.
Yeah, no, I'm inclined to agree with you, and it would be at most, right, Blaine? Because remember the Hopkins deal. Yeah. They took a conditional 5th-round pick to trade DeAndre Hopkins to the Chiefs. The conditions were the amount of playing time, the percentage of playing time, offensive snaps that he would see it could potentially become a fourth. Now, obviously, Kansas City managed the snap count, so they didn't have to give the Titans a fourth-round pick in that situation. And remember, they also had to eat some of DeAndre Hopkins' contract to move him to Kansas City because he was in a situation or going to a situation where they just didn't have the resources to take the full brunt of what was remaining on his contract. Calvin Ridley has $11 million plus left on his deal if you're to move him after today. So in that situation, a conditional fifth-rounder at most, Blaine, and also a circumstance where you would probably have to eat money depending on which team you're sending him to.
Yeah, I think best-case scenario is you get a fourth.
Oh.
And here's the thing about Calvin Ridley, because we talked about this last year. They just failed to get him involved early in the game, and then not at all in the third quarter. Third quarter, all season, he has 2 targets. 2 targets in the third quarter all season. And then in the first quarter, he only has 6. That's compared to 10 in the second quarter and 17 in the fourth quarter. And
which is their least effective quarter.
Right. And he's 5 for 6 in the first quarter, right? Like he didn't have a drop issue in the first quarter. They just failed to find ways to get him the ball. And if you fail, but they don't have that problem with Ellick and Chimere Dike in the first quarter. In fact, in the first half, Ellick and Chimere Dike do most of their damage then. And
this is including the games where he wasn't there, though.
Yeah, true. But at the same time, he wanted to go to Ellick before he wanted to go to Ridley. Or maybe that's how the defense has forced it anyway. So I just look at it and go, okay, you've always had a problem using it. Now, we haven't seen Mike McCoy and Calvin Ridley together, but Brian Callahan has shown, even going back to last year, he struggled getting Calvin Ridley involved early and often in the first half of the season. And now, and I'm with you guys, by the way. I want you guys to know, I am with you all in the sense of go ahead and trade him. Because at this point, there's no sense in keeping him. If you pay a little bit extra, maybe get a 4th-round pick, oh, man, you came out with gravy. I mean, like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. But I think it's also, though, there's twofold here.
Yeah.
Maybe Ridley wasn't getting open. Maybe they did call plays for him. Then we got to talk about the system that he's in, and do they go through the system process?
Right.
And, by the way, what if Ward has a better connection now that the season has started with the younger guys?
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not going through the system in his reads, but maybe he has a better connection, better feel for the other guys when – Ridley's kind of inconsistent with maybe where he's supposed to be. Then you have drops. Then you start saying, well, I need to start looking at other people and see if they can grow with me because we all came in together. There's a bona fide tied knot between us because we came in this league together, and you're always attached to your draft class and all the guys in your class. So there could be a little bit of that. So I just think it's, if they can do their best, I think they should move them. I'm with you guys.
And I think some team will make a play for him. I mean,
because he is talented.
Yeah, he is talented.
Oh, my gosh.
The guaranteed money doesn't travel with him, so you can easily maybe get the Titans to pay their good portion of that's left of his base salary right now, get a pick, then you can cut him the next year, or keep him and extend him if he ends up taking your team to that next level. Now, he has a hard time doing that because it takes him a while to kind of warm up and build chemistry. We've seen it now a few times with about 2 different quarterbacks here with Will Levis and Cam Ward. But maybe a more experienced veteran, better quarterback can speed up that process. Maybe like an Aaron Rodgers. I know the Steelers are interested in wide receivers, so maybe someone like that. Someone
they
like
already
Josh
signed Kingmaker Marquez Valdez-Scantling, whose quarterbacks have won Super Bowl MVP like the last 3 Super Bowls or something outrageous.
Insane.
Really?
Oh, he's been on the Chiefs.
Yeah. He's been with Patrick Mahomes. So maybe there's something there for them in that situation. Tony Pollard, I think, is one I do kind of struggle with. I know that fans seem to be kind of out on him. And it depends on the return. He is a running back. You're not going to get much, but he's dependable. Like Tyjae Spears is not dependable. Khalil Mullins, obviously not dependable right now. We have no clue what he is. And Julius Chestnut's just Julius Chestnut. Jordan Mims is just worse Julius Chestnut. So at this point, I don't feel like the return for Tony Pollard is going to be worth trading away your most dependable player, though.
So they don't the thing that's weird about the Titans is they are league at the bottom of the NFL in terms of rushing attempts.
Yeah.
So it's not even like you're really using Tony Pollard. Now they got their teeth kicked in last week at Indianapolis. We understand that. They did have a more balanced rushing attack last week than they had the previous, but they also had a season-low rushing attempts in that Patriots game of 12. So,
and they weren't necessarily out in that game. That was just bad management in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're not using Tony Pollard, then go get a pick for Tony Pollard. Honestly, for the sake of, because again, this football season is about the development of the quarterback. If I'm Tony Pollard, obviously you care about your teammates and your teammates' success and your team's success. But, let me put it through my prism. I'm a little more selfish than that. I'd want to go play meaningful football.
I'm sure
I don't want to waste my time on a 1-7, about to be 1-8 football team if I'm Tony Pollard just constantly getting hit behind the line of scrimmage for what? Send me somewhere nice.
I agree with that. Like if I'm Tony Pollard, I want out. If I'm
go to
Jeffrey Simmons,
and God bless him, he's not like that. I mean, to all of their credit, they really have not been. It would be easy if you're in a locker room like that, and I'm sure in closed private settings they may have a little stronger opinions than they let on publicly. But Chigakonkwo's talking about, I want to be a Titan for life. Jeffrey Simmons is committed to playing for the Tennessee Titans organization. He is
what a fool.
Public,
publicly, what can you say?
No, I know.
Yeah. I mean, at this point,
Myles Garrett did a whole Super Bowl media tour about how badly he wanted out of Cleveland, and then they shoved his mouth full of money.
And that was planned off season, not during season, off season.
Sure.
Hey, you give me my money, and I will then be your guy. If you don't, you got to let me out, and I will cause problems because he has that kind of clout,
and
he's
he did.
that good of a player. Tony Pollard is kind of interesting because, man, I'd love to see him on a playoff-type contending team. And even in a backup role, in a rotational piece, you say, well, what team is that? And I don't know who would trade for him, and what kind of value they would give for him. I think he's kind of miscast with not a lot of opportunities. I still think he's the same player as he was last year.
Yeah. He's a solid player.
Yeah, so
a lot of people say this team that's playing the Titans today would be in on Tony Pollard, and I've heard that the Patriots are in on Tony Pollard a little bit, but asking price is apparently too high.
Well, you got to start high so you can meet in the middle. That's called negotiations.
That's true.
I think the Chargers have some injury issues.
They know how to negotiate in this.
Well, I don't know that because I'm not sitting on it. All we can look at is the results. So I don't know what teams think of the Titans. I mean, they're not a very good team, so then that probably hurts them unless you have some elite player like Jeff Simmons in negotiations and trade capital and getting really the value that you think. And the value is only what someone will pay for him.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think Tony Pollard's still a quality player. So all the people who want to see Tyjae Spears be the number one back, I'll be interested to see how long that lasts.
Weeks.
I don't even know if it would last an entire game. I think we got to look at the history. History tells you about running backs, especially a guy who has no ACL or torn ACLs, and he can't be the guy game in and game out. That just is not reasonable. You're asking him to do something. It's no different than if you look back. Let's go over the history. You were here, Buck, when remember the Lewis guy and Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Remember that? Remember, Lewis was the feature guy. Well, once they realized, oh, man, he's kind of a smaller back. He can't be that guy. And that really opened the door for Derrick Henry. You try to miscast this guy and think he could be an every down back when that's what he never did throughout his career. And that's what Tyjae Spears is.
It was the Carolina game that they lost at Carolina on the road to Kyle Allen.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
okay.
That was the bet because they came in with a Deion Lewis game plan the entire game, or at least for the entirety of that first half. And honestly, they were having success with it. Then Deion Lewis turned the ball over. They put themselves in bad situations. Art Smith came back in the second half, the offensive coordinator at the time, and went Derrick Henry heavy, and they got themselves back into the game. They lost, but they came away with a change of philosophy in terms of their deployment, and we know how the rest of that 2019 season
But Deion Lewis,
went.
he had never been the feature guy with the Patriots. He was the rotational guy. Now, there were some games that he did be the feature guy, but he wasn't the guy.
Yeah.
So I think that's what people see because we see in a vacuum. Tyjae Spears, look, man, he's the most explosive player on the team.
41-yard explosive.
Right.
Put him in.
I mean, if you go back and watch, which, we do, the All-22, man, his jitterbuggy, making people miss in a short window and getting upfield vertically, quickly, oh man, I put him up there with some of the best in the National Football League.
Yeah.
Seven explosive plays last week. One of them is the Tajay Spears.
But how long will he do it? So guess what? If you trade Pollard, I bet they're going to do it. Then he may not make it through the rest of the season.
I just, listen, you can find running backs anywhere, but the way that Tony Pollard approaches the game and plays the game and hasn't
he runs hard too,
he
man.
has not given up, and he had 2 explosive runs last week. Like, people don't understand that Tony Pollard still broke off runs of like 10 and 16 last week. They just don't use the run game, and that's the problem with this team, is that they kept saying since last year, we got to lean into the run game. We got to lean into the run game. We need a 50-50 split. And they failed to do it. This is a team that has been built on pretty much lies, it feels like. They're going to say they're going to do something, and they never do it.
Well, hold on now. Sometimes the game dictates that you don't get to run the ball.
That's
but
true.
Even when it didn't, they still weren't running the ball. They weren't 50-50.
I mean, because like the Patriots game, they weren't really out of reach, and they just abandoned the game. And then they fell into the Patriots' trap by abandoning the run game. They did exactly what Mike Vrabel wanted.
I just can't get over the idea that they're built on a throne of lies.
That's what it feels like. They tell you one thing in the media, and then they turn around the very next week and don't do anything. They tell you that RPOs won't work against these defenses, and then you'll see another team run RPOs against that defense.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I don't.
And that's really, I'm putting a lot on Mike McCoy.
No.
That's really Brian Callahan.
You don't have to disclose everything to the media.
Right.
And I say this as somebody who's at all of these press conferences and who asks these questions and understanding that I'm not going to get full transparency.
Right.
But the problem is that it's been more specific to deployment. You've almost overshared what you wanted to do, so you have set expectations for how this thing is supposed to look. They came in here saying that Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears were interchangeable, and then they very much did the opposite of that, and it was so Tony Pollard heavy. And last year we understand that Spears had, the concussion issues. He had an ankle injury at some point. He had a hamstring injury, and so maybe that didn't allow for that situation to exist. We come into this season, Tajay Spears is on injured reserve, so they don't get that opportunity, and obviously you know that Tony Pollard is a superior option to all these different things. But what my frustration is, to the points that you made, is that they pass to set up their running game,
right?
And they're trying to find ways to be more efficient as a passing offense, when in reality you are not equipped to play that style of football. Now, you may not be equipped to run the air out of the football either. They have struggled at the point of attack. They have struggled with physicality as an offensive line unit. That was something that we were looking to see make at least incremental improvements, and they are a slightly better offensive line unit, but they are not what they are paid to be or what the draft capital, the draft pedigree says they should be, other than Peter Skoronski, who kind of feels like he's on a one-man island out of a five-man unit. So I'm annoyed, if I'm a Titans fan, by the idea that they've got a rookie quarterback behind an offensive line that's not overwhelmingly adept in pass pro, and yet they're still dropping this kid back 27 to 35 times a game and putting him in a situation where he's having to gut it out. Cam Ward should not have to play this way. He should not have to play this way. They should be finding different ways to protect him. Part of protecting the young quarterback is running the football with consistency, and they just don't seem intent on doing that.
I agree. I got a way to make everybody happy. Okay, you guys ready? We'll trade Tony Pollard.
Okay.
We'll call up Xavier Restrepo and put him at running back.
Well, that's the whole game plan. if you want to believe that they're smart, that's why they traded Brownlee. That's why they did all these moves.
God.
Because they're tanking so they make sure they get the first pick.
Yeah.
So they can trade out and get multiple
So
picks.
we're going to put Restrepo at running back when Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
So it'll be Restrepo and Spears back there. Fans
piece.
will be happy.
Hey.
They'll be appeased.
You got to run him on the reverse, too.
Yeah.
Oh, man, they go crazy.
No.
And then you get
when he loses 25 yards behind the line, put him on a reverse.
He may lose 5.
Blaine.
Hey, he's tough now.
Okay, he's tough and he's slow. I don't care how tough he is if he's slow.
Hey, man, he's going to get out there. Last 4 weeks, they got to make him active. What do you have to lose, man? And watch this. You may just say that just so some of these fans show up.
And let me say this.
They want to see him
It's
live.
week 9. They got nothing to lose now. They're still calling up James Prochel.
It should not be much of a surprise that Chargers fans, the opposing team fans, outnumber by a large margin the Titans fans right now. But I am very surprised that the Chargers fans actually travel this well.
Oh.
Well, we got a lot
now-
of California and Tennessee these days.
I guess that's true. All right.
They have a good team.
This is the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff. Lee Company, all you need. Visit them online at leecompany.com on 104.5 The Zone. It's the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff. Lee Company, all you need. Visit them online at leecompany.com. It is cold, and fans are lining up. Chargers fans are lining up to go into the stadium. We've been reliably informed that if you are drive into the stadium in a wee ass shirt or the clown shirt, they're going to make you turn it inside out before you enter in the stadium. So you might as well just turn it inside out. Then turn it back right side out when you get back inside.
Whoa, man, it's a lot of Chargers fans.
Yeah.
See, I didn't
I'm
think Chargers
stunned.
fans existed.
Yeah. This is
Like,
wild.
I mean, we got a few Titans fans right here, but
Yeah.
man, it's all Chargers in this line pretty much.
Yeah, there's one. We got one guy in 11 out there that's in a Titan shirt.
What's that 4 jersey? Is that
Number 2.
a Cowboys? Is that
who's
a
number
Dak
2?
Prescott jersey?
Was that Doug Flutie at 2? Who was 2? Oh,
X-Ray.
X-Ray. Oh, X-Ray. He wants to get on the national stage here.
You got
He's in
You got
shorts.
a Bills jersey. It's a Bills jersey. Okay, there you go.
That's the ones that always crack me up. Is that I'll never forget. I came to a preseason game. We're not playing the Packers, by the way, in this story. And we walk down, and someone is in a Green Bay Packers Brian Brom jersey. And I'm like, he's not even in the league. He's not even playing in this game, and you're not even playing the Packers. Like, you don't have anything else you can wear to this football game?
It's just like, who's that actor that wore the NFL hat? Like, he's just...
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe, and his just NFL logo baseball cap. I'm just here. I'm just here.
Wait, is that the thing?
to
People
have
just
fun.
wear jerseys. Some people just wear jersey regardless of.
I mean,
guess
maybe.
so.
on the back
I don't know.
or not. I mean, you know.
Who's if you're a Titans fan, whose jersey are you wearing anymore? Jeff Simmons ain't playing. There's a lot of Derrick Henry.
I
There's
learned
a lot of
a
Derrick
long
Henry.
time
God love
ago
you.
that I'm never, if I'm buying if I ever buy Titans jersey again, I'll wait till they do the new jerseys. But if I ever buy Titans jersey again, it's personalized. I'm not putting anybody's name on the back. I'll do Blaine Bishop. That's what I'll do.
Oh man, thanks for sucking up to that.
You know what? There is always a few Blaines.
Yeah.
There's always a few Bishop
I think
23s.
They still live here. But
Buddy, if for no other reason, they keep sending all the good players away. I don't know what to tell you.
man, you know what? The fans, they should have did something around, let's say, the Titans organization, maybe around Halloween, to thank Kirby. To get the fans excited about costumes and stuff like that, and maybe some would have went overboard naturally to talk about the Titans.
Well, that's the
It would
thing.
have made it a fun thing to do, part of the Halloween weekend, something to that effect. I don't know if you can even do that. I don't know the rules to come into a stadium like that.
Yeah, I think that if you were a fun and if you were an organization that was not concerned with the wrong things about the optics of what your fan base might dress as or might wear to a game, then yeah, maybe you do something like that, Blaine. But they are perpetually worried about the wrong things.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be too concerned. Guess what? The fans that are showing up, whether it's positive or negative, it's still publicity, and that's how you got to view it from an organizational standpoint. For me, in general, if I was,
they're actually showing up to the game, right? If they're wearing a wee ass shirt, they're
Which, by the
actually
way,
still showing up to the game.
Rock stars, those of you who are still coming to these games.
Yeah,
Well
no
done
doubt.
by you.
Yeah, diehards.
Applaud to all the Chargers fans that show up.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so
Man, it's cold.
so let me ask you this: if you're a Titans fan coming to the game, and they told you have to turn your shirt inside out to come back inside, wouldn't you just go home?
Yeah.
Because I'm the one fan that you guys are going to have out there that wants to even come to the game, even if it's in protest. I'm still coming to the game and going to cheer for the team. They're just not going to cheer for the ownership or the front office. They're still going to cheer for the team.
How about this? If Buck comes in and they say, "Hey, man, you got to turn your shirt inside out," Buck would nicely say, "Absolutely, I will turn this jersey or shirt inside out." And as soon as he gets to a seat, he turns it right back
That's
to
all
the
you
right
gotta
side. And then they still say, "You know what?" So I would applaud it. Then they're in the stadium.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to go pull me out, and then that's the thing.
Yeah,
Now that's the
exactly.
thing.
Go ahead and be
See,
the
now-
lame ass that throws
that's the
fans
thing.
out of a stadium like this one today.
But you got to know the risk too. That make it
You'll
happen.
be easy to spot. Because there's not
Nowhere
much
to hide.
coverage. There's nowhere to hide in this stadium.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Insane. Okay. Who today?
Just ran into a former Titan, too,
did
by
you?
the way.
Did you?
He was a draft pick, second-round pick, John Thornton, who is now an agent. He has Winston Jr.
Okay.
So he left, but, he was in maybe the draft class that was the first as Titan, maybe sooner, year before that. Yeah, really good player. Went West Virginia, D-tackle, started, then signed a big contract with the Bengals, played 4 years there. Really productive, good elite level type player, started for us the whole entire time.
And then he's representing Kevin Winston Jr.,
That's
who
one
you
of his
hope
clients.
turns into a elite player.
Well, yeah, I think he will.
Yeah.
I think only he can stop himself
Yeah.
from being turned into a lead player.
So who today is playing their last game as a Tennessee Titan? Because we've been talking trades,
Oh, my.
and I asked this question on Friday, and I want to see if you've maybe got a different answer now that we've had these rumors.
Well, it's a
pop
different
up.
day. But
So
I don't
who
know.
plays their last game as the Tennessee Titans? I'll start while you guys are thinking, because I just burned that question upon you. And I'm going to say I do think Calvin Ridley's getting traded. I think Calvin
that's
Ridley
your guy.
and one of the edge players is getting traded. I don't know if it's going to be Draymond, Jihad Ward, Arden Key. I don't know. But
Don't ask us the question and then name every player.
See how he did that?
you can name the same players.
That's what he does on a daily basis. That way he's never wrong.
Never wrong.
See, that's what he
He
does.
just said, "I'll go first, and then I'll name every player that may possibly."
I
be
left
traded.
y'all some players.
We already talked about Tony Pollard. We talked about everybody.
Draymond Jones has been productive. He's had a nice couple of weeks the last few games. They're actually getting to the quarterback with more consistency, which was a concern about this football team. You can never have enough edge rushers, especially if you are a playoff contending team. So if I'm a team who's sniffing around what the Titans have to offer, I would be interested in Draymond Jones. I would be surprised for as little money as he's making, too, to come in and be like, a third edge guy. I think that makes sense for a lot of teams who would be buying at the deadline.
I think that makes sense. He's also played like half the game, so most of his base salary is already paid out. So
I don't want to make sense, so I'm just going to make a random.
let's do it. I like it.
It's probably never, especially with his contract, he just got an extension. Just trade Amani Hooker. Just make it make sense.
There was a rumor out there
Yeah,
that popped up that the Patriots were calling about Amani Hooker.
I don't know.
Well, sure, because Mike's pointing and laughing at him, being like, "Sure, I'll take him out of here."
I don't know, but they just gave an extension, so I don't even know if that's possible. But I don't know, man. Just all the
Well, they just traded
players.
Kyle Duggar too. The Pats are selling off parts, so sure.
Yeah,
Selling off parts, getting parts, and all that kind of stuff. So there'll be buyers at the trade deadline after selling.
Yeah, they're
a few
6-2.
parts. Yeah,
with a worse roster than this team has. Nonsense.
not anymore.
Man.
This roster is definitely worse.
Man, I
The
keep looking
quarterback-
at this
the
guy right
quarterback
here.
Changes
he,
everything.
He looks like Zach Peeler. I mean, not Zach Peeler, Benji Olsen. Oh, man, I keep looking like, dang, man, he looks like Benji.
Pillar shows up at these things. He got a way bigger beard, though.
Yeah, Benji Olsen, man, go check him out.
Hey,
They
can
look
you
exactly
play
like-
center?
Yeah,
Because we need a
Benji-
center.
yeah.
Lloyd Cushenberry ain't doing it.
Oh, they may trade him, too.
Yeah,
I don't know how much value he
No,
would have.
we're not trading Lloyd Cushenberry.
Well, watch this.
Teams have to want these things, Blaine.
Right. Maybe they want a debt piece. I have no idea. I should have said him. Like, is he going to be on the team next year? Like, think about this.
Kush, let me look at his cap hit.
Like, man, he hasn't lived up to that contract at all. And I'm like,
It's the
he
most
wasn't signed-
guaranteed money
Yeah.
for a center in history.
He wasn't signed by Mark Bergonzi,
I
so
know,
unless
that's
you
what
were
I'm getting-
signed or
Right.
drafted by Mike Bergonzi, you're out of here.
Yeah, that's
is how
what I'm
I
saying.
feel.
They're going to probably cut him after the season.
I mean,
That's
they
what I'm
already
getting at.
need 32 new players next year. What's 5 more?
Hey, man. Kush is just okay, man. That guy right there, that Benji Olsen looking like, man, he might do what Kush do.
Because he can be cut after this year.
They can get out
Hey,
from
baby, start working on snapping, man. Working on
but
snapping.
they're still eating $12 million to cut him next year.
No, they'll only have to eat $9 million of that because of the
Dead
money.
cap. Okay.
So they'll actually save
I was
$3
looking at
million.
the wrong number.
They'll save $3 million.
See, they're probably going to cut him.
There
You're
you
going to
go.
eat $9 million to get rid of a starting center.
A starting center.
Just annoyed.
Well, it's even more annoying, and listen, it has nothing to do with his time here, but you see like a guy like Aaron Brewer who finds
He's
the
the
perfect
best center in football right now.
He found Mike McDaniel, who is the best run schemer in the game, and a scheme that fits him, because Aaron Brewer sucked here because the scheme did not fit him.
Old $2 steak.
And Lloyd Cushenberry doesn't fit the scheme because they don't play like a unit. They play like a bunch of individuals on this offensive line, and it's not getting better, and that's why you see so many miscommunications and open lanes for pass rushers to go through, because they don't play like a unit. And if your offensive line does not play like a unit, you're not going to have protection.
So what happened to Bill Callahan being the best ever to be the coach? I know he's no longer with us, but that was going on before.
Well, he's still alive.
He's dead to me. He's not here.
He's no longer with
He's not
us.
us, man.
That's a crazy thing to say about that old man.
Quit reading the headlines, man. No guy.
All right, so maybe it's like a situation where all these borderline retirement home wide receivers, they come to the Tennessee Titans, they get paid, they get out of here.
Yeah, there you go.
But then everybody that gets traded also or signed somewhere else do so well. We just talked about Brewer.
Well, we're about to see like 5 of them on this team.
Oh,
You got
I know.
Elijah Molden,
Tierre Tart.
Mr. Tart.
Tierre Tart,
Pop-Tart.
Naquan Jones plays
yeah.
over there. Is Bud
Titans
Dupree
legends.
still over here?
But
Yeah,
Dupree is
he's
here.
there. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Hassan
Hassan
Haskins is
just
injured.
went on in.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
on IR,
Yeah.
so we got but 4 right there, all on defense.
If they're good enough for the
Haskins.
Chargers, why aren't they good enough for this place?
Yeah, I did not want Elijah Molden traded last year.
He didn't meet the measurables.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
What are the measurables? Somebody tell me the measurables. Roger McCreary is a totally different corner than Jarvis Brownlee. Said, no, we're good on both. Get out of here.
I don't know.
Well,
man.
what kind of players would you like, boys?
Well, at that
Bad
time,
players. That's
I
all they
liked
want.
Elijah Moda, but remember what did he do? Tear his groin or something, and then he had 2 surgeries and he came back too soon, and it just he missed a lot of games.
He did
I
have
think.
a groin issue.
Yeah, so that might have ended it for him. But
Maybe
when
his groin was too big.
Yep, that's what she said.
All right.
Enlarged groin.
All right.
This is what happens when we see all these Chargers fans,
That's
man.
what-
All right,
7,
coming up
what you're
next,
gonna
we'll
Phillip
talk more about
Rivers.
this game. Lee Company countdown to kickoff. Lee Company, all you need, visit them online at leecompany.com.
These are all his kids out
Wolf.
here. took my pen, man.
It's the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff. Available 24/7. Put Lee Company on your team to tackle your home's heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical problems. Schedule online at leecompany.com. Lee Company, all you need. Got Blaine the Hitman Bishop. I'm Zach Lyons, and we got Buck Eeyore Rising over here.
Eeyore? Why am I Eeyore?
He's the sad, depressed
Eeyore.
donkey on Winnie the Pooh.
The donkey.
Because your
called you a
nicknames
donkey.
wasn't FCC safe, I went with Eeyore.
Oh,
Eeyore.
Okay. I don't know.
I feel like I've had better energy today than you, if I'm being honest.
I don't know.
I feel like I've been pretty good today. I feel like you're trying to walk me into some stuff.
My pessimism
sound like Blaine.
Sounds like excitedness, though. Like I'm not at least depressed.
I'm not depressed about it. I'm annoyed by it.
Yeah.
I'm bothered by it. I'm angry about it.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Okay, are the Tennessee Titans?
We should be. Man.
Okay.
We all are.
Are the Tennessee Titans going to put together 4 quarters of competent offense? Competent. 4 quarters.
Is this a real question?
This is a real question. Is this
you
today?
just threw out the window that the defense can't do it.
I don't care about this defense. Now, I'm sorry for the defensive player at the table, but I do not care. Like, I wish I could fast forward. I wish I had a time machine to fast forward through watching the defense play.
Oh, hey, man, you at least got to have a solid defense these days to get somewhere, man. So, hold on. I know Denard is a little disappointed about that. But, yeah, you got to have a little defense. Hey, and I know you guys are right. This is all about Cam, but it's also all about the other younger players that are playing too as well to see if they can continue to grow and learn and see.
Kevin Winston Jr. We'll see Marcus Harris today.
No, you have to. You got no other corners left.
So we get to see where they get, see if they get better, and then see what role they'll probably play going into next season. If maybe it's a starter, or maybe it's a more of a conditional playing time, or maybe not playing at all. I don't know. So we shall see. So naturally, the quarterback's the most important. We always talk about them. But all the other young players that they've drafted, Berganzi and crew, I think, who look formidable. They all look pretty decent. At least they can have a role, whether it's a backup, starter. I don't know if we have any superstars outside of Cam Ward, but I think we have some really good players.
And he's still got to show that superstar status.
Yeah.
So, we're projecting superstar status. And I would agree. I would bet money on superstar rather than bottom 10.
Well, I'm going to say superstar for the Titans.
Yeah.
So
top 15 quarterback is superstar for the Titans. Let's just be honest here.
I don't know if you'll ever
very,
get to that
very low
next year,
threshold.
But let's make the offense look competent and consistent, and let's take baby steps there, Buck.
Because the Tennessee Titans in the first half have been consistent on offense. It's like that middle 8, the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half just changed everything for this team.
I just don't want I don't want Cam to have to do it all.
Yeah.
Like, make life a little easier on him. I understand that it's not all, like, I can't say that as a blanket statement because it doesn't apply to every game or every matchup, but I want to see the burden of this offense not having to be so much shouldered by Cam Ward. I think that he made a lot of nice plays against the Colts. I think that it doesn't matter when you get blown out by 3 scores again, because people don't want to hear about, look how good the rookie quarterback did when you lose, what was it, 38 to 13
it's very
last week,
frustrating
38
to hear.
to 14.
No question.
So I have a hard time. I don't want to pitch fans on anything because I'm not trying to gaslight them, right?
Right.
But you do have something in this quarterback that is at least making progress in the right direction. He had a lot of nice plays from a lot of muddy pockets last week where he's hanging in there and hanging on to the ball probably longer than he should. 3.15 average time to throw last week, which was second highest to Jackson Dart, who had 3.68, which is just a suicide mission by Jackson Dart out there. I don't know what the hell he's doing in the pocket, but still. You're looking at a circumstance where Cam Ward can bail you out of a lot of these 3rd and 6 pluses that you are ending up in. But they have to find ways to be more efficient on early downs, whether it's through their rushing attack or whether it's through their passing game. That would at least lend itself to a more manageable situation to where you can play a more consistent football game for 4 quarters.
You know what? Coach Mack deserves them to put together 4 good quarters of offense, because every time he comes on any one of our shows, he always says, well, you got to stay ahead of the chains, and this team never does. And I feel so bad for him that's the path to victory.
Uh-oh. Blaine, you got cupcakes.
All right.
Cupcakes on your right.
We have cupcakes.
No, I'm not. I don't eat the cupcakes, but I appreciate it. It's a
I'll
nice
be eating those
gesture.
cupcakes.
I gotta fit into my jacket.
Well, I definitely eat cupcakes.
But, look at this Chargers team. They are number 1 in third down conversions on the offense. Mm-hmm. So they are the best in the league at converting on third down. So my question to you guys on the defensive side, are the Chargers even going to punt today? Because there's no way this Tennessee Titans team with the current roster.
I haven't even thought that far, man.
Yeah, this current roster.
They go punt.
Is Jalen Armour Davis and are we sure Darrell Baker Jr. is playing today? And because he practiced this week, right?
He did practice, and he's out of the concussion protocol, or he wasn't in the concussion protocol during the week, so at least that's a step in the right direction. Listen, he's going to have to play whether he starts or whether they rotate their corner situation. That remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But again, they don't have any corners left. They traded their 2 guys that were starting for them, and their third starting corner is on injured reserve.
All I hear is Berganzi saying that we have to have a lot of corners in this league to make it.
And they got 4 on the active roster.
At that time, I think they had 7 or 8 or something.
And then they got Micah
finally get a little run today, huh?
I forgot Micah Robinson's on the team, the 7th round rookie that was out of Tulane that they picked up off of the practice squad for Green Bay. So he's on the roster. They actually do have 5. But it's kind of wild that they're relying on a 4th round, often injured player in Jalen Armour Davis, who was cut from his team earlier in the year, an undrafted free agent, Darrell Baker Jr., an undrafted 7th round rookie, Micah Robinson, a 6th round rookie, Marcus Harris, and I don't even know where Sam Womack was drafted, so he may be undrafted too, but a guy that was also picked up on this team, and those are your corners. There's nobody above a 4th round, and only 3 of them were drafted.
Well, what I can say is these guys will be fighting out to prove something.
Yeah.
That is for sure. And in this day and age, you guys jokingly said, and I agree, you don't have to have an elite defense. How about you have serviceable players? Now, I get it. You got to have a little bit better than this, but proven players. But, if you get a find out of this season of, what they can do, and then kind of build on that. Maybe you get, maybe you find a guy who can play a role and be your 3rd guy, and all of a sudden next year he may play even more, and then you find out you maybe, how to find, So you don't have to have superstars at the cornerback position to me to be successful in this league, kind of like when I was playing. Now you got to have some serviceable, really good players. Maybe not to this level, but guess what? Those guys are still being okay, and I mean, they haven't been horrific, so I would say let's see what they got. And guys trying to prove themselves in the National Football League, those are dangerous players. So you better watch for him and say, hey man, this guy, he has nothing to lose and everything to gain, and that's how he plays.
Well, this is one of the better defenses in the league right now. I mean, they're 7th in yards, 12th in points allowed. So they don't allow a lot of yards, don't allow a lot of points.
Talking about Green Bay?
Yeah, no.
I mean, not Green Bay,
Chargers. And then the Chargers' defense in efficiency is also 9th best against the pass. So if Cam Ward is able to move the ball through the air and able to put up some points, this is a good defense to kind of showcase, are you going to be able to take that next league?
Yeah, and it was pointed out by Ian Hartitz. I don't know if y'all follow him on Twitter. He works for the Underdog Network. It's a fantasy football website. And he was pointing out how much better Cam Ward has been in the second, or I guess the last 4 games. They've played 8 games. The first 4 games versus the second 4 games. That's also due to the opponent, the quality of opponent that they're playing at this point in time. You got a situation where they started off the year with the Denver Broncos, who are leading the NFL in sacks. You had the Los Angeles Rams, who have a good front, maybe not a great secondary after that. So some things have evened out here to allow Cam Ward to at least put together better performances individually. It's ultimately about winning games, but they're not winning games right now. So you're looking for the quarterback to continue to progress. This would be probably the best quality opponent that he will have the opportunity to go up against in these last 4 weeks since they got through that tough 6-week stretch that they started the year with while he's, just trying to get his feet under him.
Yeah, and this Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator for the San Diego Chargers,
Titans head coach watch.
Well,
Titans head coach watch.
You could say that, but they've told us that they're not going to do any first-time head coaches and all that kind of stuff.
Who said that?
That's what the people have told Mike Silver. That was when he was here, and that's what people have told your boy Easton over at A to Z, direct from their mouth. They said that the archetype that is most successful, even though this is not true, I debunked this, so this really worries me about their data that they're using, but that the most successful archetype is someone with a 5 years play calling experience and or a second-time head coach. And that's not necessarily true in today's league. And Jesse Minter is a really good defensive coordinator. He's a lot like Mike McDonald. And you'll like this, Blaine. Do you know that cover 2 play that we were talking about with Cody Barton in the Patriots game on that fourth down? And how we thought it was cover 2, and there was the check downs.
Oh, in the red zone.
So he'll show cover 2, and instead of the linebacker taking that deep middle, he'll have the safety take the deep middle. And it confuses the hell even out of Patrick Mahomes. It's simplicity. It's simple. It's not complex. He doesn't have his defenders doing like multiple different things. It's a simple look, and he has one player do something different, and that's what Jesse Minter does. So if Cam Ward can, just move the ball up and down the field, that it may not look like great on the scoreboard, which ultimately you guys start scoring points. But this is a good test against a very complex defense after the snap that's going to show you something one way, and then one little, trick like that. So Cam Ward has to play within himself and not try to press constantly, which we have seen him do a lot.
But this is how you mess up Cam Ward. You then use the linebacker, and he thinks he's using safety, and he thought he was going to go somewhere else, and then he gets sacked because he didn't have enough time to, they changed up on me. That's how you play the game and still be simplistic.
Yeah.
And so those are all tests that every team is going to have a different one, and he has to pass the test. And, right now we could say that he's probably getting a C+. But every game and every strategy and system of how they're trying to play of attack are different.
Yeah.
And that is why we keep saying he's improving, because he's adjusting as time goes on in game. And then eventually, the dam breaks, and then they're too far behind. They got to start throwing the ball all over the place.
Well, and he's told us this week, Blaine, that he feels like every game he's gotten better in terms of the routine stuff, right? The mechanics, the operation, getting in and out of the huddle,
throwing it out of bounds.
That's so it's the low bar, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. But at least if there is incremental improvement to be made, let's continue to see him build upon that.
Yeah.
Now, are the other pieces around him going to allow him to build upon those performances? That's the thing that we're kind of waiting to see on a consistent basis for them to put together a 4-quarter performance. But it is, each week is an important game for him, because that is the thing that the only way that he's going to get better is by playing. And so no matter what the situation is, no matter how bad it feels, no matter how gross 1-7 is, Cam Ward has to go out there and find ways to win a football game, even if he's going to have to try and will them to wins at certain points. He's not good enough to do that yet. We'll see if he can continue to steadily improve and put them in positions where they're at least playing closer games, right? They're getting their asses kicked.
Today's not going to be that day, though.
Today is not likely to be that day. Today is not likely to be that day. But they got the Niners with no pass rush coming up. They got the Browns defense, which is tough here in a couple of weeks after the bye. So again, there's not an easy game in the National Football League, even if teams are worse than others. But still, these are important moments for him to test himself and for us to see how he handles whether he passes those tests or not. You can't come out with a dud.
Right.
If you're Cam Ward, you can't be the reason that they're losing games right now, which is unfortunate because he's got no margin for error.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, the thing about Cam Ward that you want to see is, like, in a game, he's going to have ups and downs. But what you want to see is the body of work from leaving that game be better than the last. Because he is a rookie quarterback on a bad team. This is a bad team. No matter how you slice, it's a bad team. And he can only elevate and do so much as a rookie because he hasn't seen it all. He hasn't experienced it all. Now, he's experiencing a lot this first half of the year for sure. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at it as like, okay, the last 2 weeks, you put together 2 good first halves. Now it's time to have a good first half and a good second half. Now it's time to start building. You can't not – here's what you don't want to see today is a bad first half and a good second half because that shows inconsistency. We got to build off some consistency, and some of that is this offense as a whole, right?
Well, I think when you're looking at a developing team, though, you got to expect that that's probably going to go on for a while now.
Yeah.
As much as I want to see consistency, I just don't think whether it's let's say Alec dropping the ball.
Yeah.
On a critical third down situation. Now, it wasn't Cam's fault.
That's
or Cam threw it behind him.
Yeah.
So it's just to think that they can play an entire game.
At this point, we just can't expect it. It's better to be pleasantly surprised.
Yes, yes, and that will probably be against a lesser talented team. And how many of those teams are there?
Yeah. I mean, you even say San Francisco doesn't have a pass rush, but San Francisco has Robert Saleh. Let me tell you, he's doing some amazing stuff out there.
They got better coaches.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is.
I mean, that's what it comes down to with this team, it feels like right now, is that they have been at a coaching deficit. No matter what's going on with the roster, they're at such a coaching disadvantage, no matter who is going to be at the helm, whether it's Brian Callahan, Bones Fossil, Denard Wilson, or now Mike McCoy. Doesn't matter who's going to be at the head coaching helm, they're at a coaching deficit. And that sucks.
Yeah, I guess.
That sucks.
They're definitely not winning this one against Harbaugh.
I mean, well, Buck, let me ask you this. When it comes down to garbage time, because everybody's like, well, all of his stats come in garbage time, and I don't think that's necessarily true. I think a lot of it comes first half.
Yeah.
But when kickoff starts at 12:01, that's when garbage time starts for this team pretty much.
No, it does not. Why do you
See, people are going to get on my ass when he sets up me like that, and then I got to be the one to be like,
welcome to my world every
what
day.
am I going to do? Say no, they're great? What do you want me to do there? Jesus
I love how you
Christ.
set that up, too. That was hilarious.
All right, so yeah, I mean, they get out there, they get their asses whipped, and you're just kind of biding your time, hoping for them to show signs of life.
Yeah.
But the thing that pisses me off, if I was a Titans fan, and I'm getting more and more pissed off these days.
Yeah. I see it. We got you.
No, please. You kidding me?
I'll make you one of these
You
cupcakes.
couldn't pay me. I think that the thing among many that irritates me about the way that the Titans play football is like, okay, let's take Harbaugh. And we understand that they have Justin Herbert and they have Joe Alt and they have better players and all these different things. They can put themselves in position to succeed. Who did the Chargers play last on Thursday Night Football? It was an ugly game. It was the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
They just absolutely they went out there.
37-10.
They broke Carson Wentz in half. They beat down the Minnesota Vikings.
They put him on IR. His left shoulder was a boo-boo.
Wentz put him on IR. Wentz put himself on IR. Get off the field.
He was wincing every time he threw the ball.
He's an insane person. Get off the field. You're a liability. I loved the way that the Chargers won that football game because that football game was disgusting.
Yeah,
like it's not a fun watch.
Yeah, I turned it.
But the point is, like, it doesn't have to be pretty. Like, just go out there and ground your opponent down. You got an identity. You're Jim Harbaugh. We whip your ass. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We're going to do it with our rushing attack.
Yep.
We're going to do it with our – what did he say about drafting offensive linemen in the first round? We consider them weapons, right? We are going – they're the tip of the spear. Like, that is an identity. That is an ethos. That is a culture. That is a style of play that this team has yet to show us that they are capable of. Talking about the Titans, I would love to see the Titans just go out there, no style points. I don't care about I don't want to say that I don't care about explosive plays, but I'm not like as concerned about it as much as I am sustaining drives. Go out there and impose your will on a team and show me that you're capable of that, and that can be the building block. So you're not just getting out there at 12:01 and getting your ass whipped.
No, I love this because that is exactly what they don't have because they don't have a head coach. They don't know who it is, so they haven't confirmed what their identity is. Basically, their identity is we're going to throw it around and we're going to win it with Cam Ward. That's what their identity is.
They
That's
are
not
living and
sustainable.
dying by Cam Ward.
That's why Pollard doesn't have the touches.
They are dying.
Yes.
But so they don't have an identity, and that was really the big issue under head coach Callahan. They don't know what they are.
Well, how many times did we ask, what's the identity? What's the culture?
Whether
I know
you
say
win,
it's
lose,
losing.
or draw, but when it was on the variable, you knew the identity.
Right.
I knew that they were going to try to out-tough
even when they were
you.
losing games, you knew what they were going to try
Well,
to
Mike
do.
Mularkey was, as corny as it may sound, was Exotic Smash Mouth, and I would kill for some Exotic Smash Mouth
right now.
Like,
right?
I would kill for it. Like, I mean, I would kill for this team to come out and have an identity. And you talk about imposing will. They don't know what will to impose.
I can't get over you in 2025 saying I would kill for Mike Mularkey.
I mean, listen.
Hey,
compared to this,
it was better than this.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
I think Ken Wisenhunt. Ken Wisenhunt would do a better job with this team than Callahan.
Let's pump the brakes on that one.
I'm just saying. I think Ken Wisenhunt would have done better.
At least Mike McCoy and Brian Callahan are pleasant human beings, opposed to Wisenhunt, who's just an ass.
I can confirm.
Yeah. Blaine doing some journalism. Can confirm.
Can confirm. Hashtag can confirm.
Ken Wisenhunt was an ass.
The most important tweets of our lifetime are when Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero, Diana Rossini, and all these guys tweet something, then someone locally goes, can confirm.
Can confirm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for confirming what 5 people already reported.
Is that what they do?
That's my favorite.
Oh, my.
I'm just saying, like, I just want – it's not necessarily that I want Mularkey and Exotic Smash Mouth. I just want an identity for this team.
Yeah.
We had no identity last year. They said they wanted to be an efficient. That was their identity, efficiency. This year was supposed to be explosiveness.
What does that mean? Efficiency.
They want to be in 3rd and 6 and not 3rd and 12 or whatever.
And guess what?
That's a stupid identity.
Here's what I don't like publicly when they say stuff like this. It perturbs me because that means these players buy into that BS.
Yeah.
No, we're going to get behind the chains sometimes, be able to mentally fight through that and not placate to, we're always behind the chains and saying that publicly. We need to say, but guess what? There's other teams that are behind the chains and they find a way to get from behind the chains.
Yeah.
Good team, bad team. So don't let it be a built-in excuse that's why we lost the game.
Okay, look at
Come on, man.
remember they were relentless and resilient.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. But I mean that's not a real identity like a tangible identity. It's it's there was no identity on defense. There's been no identity on offense, and I don't even know if special teams needs an identity or whatever.
Well, the defense used to have an identity, but they got rid of everybody.
Yeah, that's true. The defense isn't playing anymore.
Yeah.
Right now,
the defense isn't. It's a different. It's a totally different defense.
I will be watching body language this week for the defense for sure because I thought their body language was a little rough last week.
Blaine, we talked about it last week. We talked about people being comfortable commenting on the effort and the fight of this football team.
Yeah.
Body language. I'm not down for people sitting on their couch at home and being like that football player isn't trying hard enough. Like that is not analysis that I accept. But when the former football players continue to bring that up, current and former football players continue to bring that up. Blaine, I know that's an allegation you never had lobbed at you or any of your teammates during your career because it's just insane.
Yeah, that's insane. Being a former player, that's insane to even think about. I really didn't like the comment with Jeffrey Simmons to J.C. Latham, who was trying to fight through an injury at practice. And I think you got to understand the points and places when that is true or not. And I think when a guy is trying to fight through an injury, I don't think that is the place to talk about, a guy's not, equipped enough to play, and that's unacceptable. So how about this? He has a little growing and hamstring injury. It's not acceptable. If he was trying out there in practice right now, would it be? Yeah, I don't think anybody would say anything to him.
Yeah.
So you just got to, make sure you're picking the right spots to do that, especially being a leader of the team and the best player on the team. So you got to be careful. J.C. Latham is trying to fight through. Nobody cares that he has an injury and he's trying to play through it and it's messing up his technique and everything else because once you're out there, nobody cares. Yeah. So that's unfortunate, but you got to know behind it what's going on with him because he looks nothing like he did last year. And in training camp, like he was dominant, man. I'm like, this guy's going to have a fantastic season.
Then he got injured.
Yeah.
And then that changes everything.
Yeah, right.
And people don't throw that into consideration when they talk about the performance J.C. Latham has had.
So, you got to fight through it, or you say, as the other guy, better than me with me being at 70%.
Right.
And that's hard for a player.
It is.
I've been there. It is really hard. I thought I could do it, and I really couldn't.
All right, coming up next, final analysis of Chargers versus Titans, and I think we should have the inactive list coming up soon.
3 minutes.
In 3 minutes, so there we go. This is the Lee Company Titans Talkback right here on 104.5 The Zone.
Cupcakes.
Nope, this is the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff right here on 104.5 The Zone.
There he goes.
It's the Lee Company countdown to kickoff. Lee Company, the Titans trust their home stadium to Lee Company to tackle their heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical problems, and they can protect your home too. Your next play? Visit LeeCompany.com. Lee Company, all you need. And today's broadcast is brought to you in part by SA Recycling. SA Recycling reminds you to be a good fan this game day and look for recycle bins in and around Nissan Stadium. And the inactives are out. Calvin Ridley, Jeffrey Simmons, Arden Key, no surprise. Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon is ruled out. Bryce Oliver ruled out yet again.
Oh.
Xavier Woods ruled out. And then that guy they signed earlier in the week, Drew Moss, is also not playing today, offensive lineman. The Chargers inactives, they are out. Tony Jefferson is out. Tarheeb Still, cornerback, is out. Kyle Kennard, their rookie outside linebacker, is out. Mekhi Becton, their starting guard, is out. Austin Deculus is their offensive tackle, is out. And Will Dissly, their starting tight end, is also out. Of course, they have Aronde Gadsden anyway. Who's been really good. And the guy that we talked about on our show for a draft prospect, I was like, man, this Aronde Gadsden the second is going to be pretty good. And last 2 weeks, I believe he's got like 3 touchdowns the last 2 weeks, which is insane.
Yeah. His dad, pedigree, was a wide receiver for the Dolphins, and he plays tight end, and he's going to grow in a position. But he seems like he's going to be – they got a steal with him. I think it was in the 5th round. He's going to be a heck of a player here down the future. I don't know if they're going to go back to the other guy. This guy's a matchup nightmare. Especially against linebackers, let alone some of the safeties he's going to give some issues to as well.
Yeah, so no surprises for the Titans on the inactives. Those are all guys, or half of those guys were ruled out on Friday. We know that Jeffrey Simmons and Calvin Ridley continue to work their way back. Arden Key has been worth watching there with the trade speculation, him dealing with a thigh injury earlier in the year, or rather a quad injury earlier in the year. And then Bryce Oliver, who continues to be bogged down with this knee issue, which it's basically robbed him of the entire season. And when you talk about like Titans fans who are looking to see Xavier Restrepo or different things as far as the wide receivers go, like I want to see Bryce Oliver.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And it's just he hasn't been able to get out there, unfortunately for him. I know he's working to get back. Bones Fossil made it seem like it was much more significant or much more severe, the injury, a couple of weeks ago when we talked to him about it. He said he feels like people hadn't necessarily given Bryce Oliver the grace, essentially, based on the severity of the injury, what they know that we don't. So to their credit, they've been trying to get him back, or to his credit, he's been trying to get back out on the field, but just struggled to do so.
Yeah, the Bryce Oliver situation is also just weird, right? Like, I mean, he could have been on IR at this point. He's missed several games, but he's been limited in practice, but he just can't seem to put full practices together. And he is a guy that...
full weeks, at least.
Yeah, full weeks. Looking at it is, to me, that I'm with you, Buck. When you said that you want to see more Bryce Oliver, that Bryce Oliver was a guy that I thought would be pretty heavily involved this year in the offense. Obviously involved in special teams, but if you're active on game day for special teams, you're likely going to find your way on offense at some point. And it's tough. It's a tough season for Bryce Oliver, who had something to build off of towards the end of last year, had something to build off of with his off-season performance, and just can't stay healthy.
Well, let's put yourself in his shoes. Naturally, he's probably super disappointed because he sees an opportunity here, and the injury has derailed him. That's why I always talk about there is a form of luck involved in sports. And unfortunately, he got injured on, I think it was punt, and when he made the tackle, and he got up limping immediately and jogging. As he kept jogging, it got worse. And so, I don't know how much that on the IR or not. Some guys heal at different rates.
Right.
And you thought, maybe he could have here. We're talking about a guy who actually is a skill guy who has to plant on his knee and leg. And I think it's more of a knee. I don't know. You guys probably know a little bit better than me, Buck, on what the extent of his injury is. So maybe let's say it's a sprained knee. Those things are very unpredictable based off the player, and unfortunately, I'm sure he's probably crying, sitting at home himself, like this is an opportunity I've been waiting for, and now I don't get it all because of a special team tackle. That is heart-wrenching, because guess what? They know they can find another player like him next season. If he doesn't get out there and play now, his opportunity may slip away.
Micah
and that's
Robinson.
the part that guys nobody talks about emotionally,
Yeah.
how he's feeling. And guess what? He's pressing to get back out there, and that may not even be helping him because he's probably pushing the knee too soon.
Yeah. Micah Robinson, the guy that we talked about, the 7th-round pick out of Tulane, the cornerback, he is active today.
Oh, that's easy.
So that will be interesting to watch. I mean, what did you think of Denard Wilson's – I'll ask both of you guys. I've heard it, but for those that may not tuned in during the week, what did you – we'll start with you, Buck. What did you think of Denard Wilson's, next man up is great and all, but we're missing all three corners we started with.
It's as close to public frustration as you'll see a coach in a circumstance like his express. But, I mean, he wasn't actively agitated about it. He's just –
He put the facts out there.
It's understandable, right?
Yeah.
Like we all know what this is. Denard Wilson he doesn't sugarcoat things. He doesn't couch things, right? He's a very transparent person, which is something that I appreciate in covering him. And he just said the thing that we all know. They don't have any corners at this point in time that they started the year with. All three of their guys, Brownlee, McCreary, and Snead, are missing for one reason or another. 2 trades, 1 injured reserve stint. And he's doing the best he can with what he's got. Now, at the end of the day, in the same way that players, Blaine, are expected to go out there and perform no matter what your circumstance is. If you're on the field, go do your job. If you're on the sideline, go do your job as a coaching staff, and Denard Wilson hasn't shied away from that. But, I mean, what else is he going to say? It's just they have nothing else that they can say right now other than, yes, we traded away our starting secondary and the other guys on IR.
Well, I think it was a smart play on his part because I think around the league he's also looking forward to where his next stop is going to be. Is that going to be a D coordinator? He's playing with less and still getting a productive, play out of some of those players. Maybe not. But then when you start seeing the highlights, you understand why the team isn't on defense playing to where they're at. So, he's also, playing in semantics. He wants another DC job, and it definitely probably won't be here, be a new coach, unless the new coach comes in and wants him as a DC. So he's also playing those kind of odds and letting everybody know what's going on with his defense.
He is under contract. They're all under contract, so at least the new head coach will come in and have the option to pick what they want from the staff.
No doubt.
When it comes to these guys like Micah Robinson, Jalen Armour-Davis, and Marcus Harris, and obviously Daryl Baker Jr. is included in this, but the next man up mentality, lots of opportunity. This is, as Ron Slay put it, the land of opportunity is the Tennessee Titans. You can't start somewhere else. You'll start here at the Tennessee Titans. Land of opportunity.
The land of opportunity.
And I look at
Landman.
Yeah, I look at Micah Robinson.
Pretty good player.
And if Micah Robinson turns out to be, at best, Daryl Baker Jr. of last year, well, that's at least one spot maybe you don't have to worry about at corner next year because
as a backup,
because they got so many holes to fill. I mean, this team has so many holes. If Micah Robinson and Marcus Harris can somehow show you they are an average version of L'Jarius Sneed and an average version of Roger McCreary, you can get by with that in this league. You still need depth behind them. So this land of opportunity, next man up, I mean, we can joke about how nobody really wants to watch this defense play, but if these young players on defense, Kevin Whiston Jr., you have Micah Robinson, Marcus Harris, obviously Cedric Gray keeps getting better and better. If these young players can step up, that kind of makes you feel better about at least the depth chart next year.
Yeah, I would be looking more as depth pieces, not necessarily starters. I think we did a little bit of a research there, and guys playing cornerback that has been drafted in the 6th or 7th round. There hasn't been a lot of those guys who actually end up becoming starters.
Right.
So I think you get to see what kind of role, how they handle those certain pressure in the game as a starter. So that'll be
this
really
is a
cool.
hell of a welcome for some of these corners.
It will be.
Go get them, boys.
Yeah.
Get out there.
All eyeballs.
Welcome to the NFL.
Isolated, man. It's a lonely deal out there on that island now.
Yeah.
So you get exposed pretty quickly. So if they hold up, maybe you could be a rotational piece hopefully down the road. And maybe you're shocking you got a steal, and one of the guys showed that, hey, man, I can start in this league. I may not be great, but I'm a solid player. So let's see if we can find something like that out throughout this whole process of losing games here to the end of the season.
Because the problem with this team has been they don't have enough just solid players.
Right.
Like, you have to have solid players. Even your second string needs to be solid players. And they've had a real hard time building up depth. That's kind of why I'm a little against trading Chig right now and maybe even extending Chig, because what's the harm in having two good tight ends? Like we have to have multiple good players regardless.
Well, because if not, you're drafting or signing a free agent next year. See, that's the point. Or do you buy into the backups that they have?
The deadline's going to be interesting because, the Ravens won on Thursday Night Football. I'm assuming they're not going to move Mark Andrews, right? So what does that do to other teams who would be looking at tight ends around the deadline? Chig is obviously a different kind of a player than a lot of teams have, but it's not like I mean,
receiving tight end.
If David Njoku is out there, would you rather have Njoku or Chig? Right? Like that's kind of the proposition that you're up against or that you're facing if you're a team who's looking to buy. There's also something to the idea of, and listen, Blaine, I know that they have to say, or that they should say publicly that they want to be here, even if they feel a certain type of way after the fact. But God bless Chigakonkwo.
Yeah.
He's. I mean, I'm seriously it would be so easy to be miserable every day at that facility. And Chig's got a great attitude every time I see him. He's constantly chopping up with his teammates. He's in there, he's in there he's cutting up. He's a bright light in a very dark place about a lot of this. And to the point of what is he as a player, you'd like him to be more consistent. You'd like him also to get a little more involved. Sure, there's some things on the field that you would like him to work towards so that the production can be the thing that you're talking about as the main thing, but guys who are actively still in it, guys who haven't checked out, guys who don't seem distant, guys who aren't removing themselves from the situation or trying to distance themselves from the situation. Chig's been a really, really good guy that way, and I do think that you need, just as you need dudes with a bad attitude on a football field that bring a little edge, you do need guys who want to build this thing up. I do think Chig genuinely cares that way, even if he would be the same if he went somewhere else.
And he fights for every yard, right? So he can joke, be a positive attitude, but he's still fighting for that yards after catch every time he gets the ball in his hands, and they need to get the ball, speaking of early and often, that's a guy they need to get involved in the first quarter. They wait so long.
You can only control what you control.
But
and I don't know if they're trying to make sure that Gunningham is who they are, and if they have to move on from Chig, that's what they want to do. I think he's kind of a matchup nightmare. You want to see a little more consistency, but on a good team, man, let's even look at the Chargers, and maybe he doesn't fit because they have, Gadsden, but can he do what Gaskin does?
In a better offense, for sure.
Yes,
I was just thinking here.
Some teams may look at him that way and say, hey, man, pass receiving tight end, he is the ticket.
I'm looking at Travis Kelce, who looks to be probably nearing the end of his career.
Man moves like he's got concrete for feet.
Yeah, I mean, he's so slow, and I'm thinking you got Rashee Rice yards after catch, you got Chigakonkwo yards after catch. That would be a good fit for him, right? There's not many places I would say that Chig doesn't fit because he is a yards after catch guy that gets open, guy that has athleticism. I know he doesn't block very well.
Right.
Maybe he hasn't been coached very well to block. But at the end of the day, not every tight end you have has to be George Kittle blocking.
No, when they're not. He's not going to be that all-around guy.
Yeah.
But you got to look at the fad in the league,
right?
And it's not just a fad. You're a receiving tight end, and most of those guys can't block.
Yeah.
Gaston, you watch him?
Yeah.
He can't block.
He can't block. But it doesn't matter.
But Chig can block better than him.
Right. So, for me, it's it doesn't matter where he goes. If he goes to a good team, he's going to produce. And it's not because he suddenly gets better. It's just because he's going to an offense where he can shine a little bit better. And
everybody who leaves here gets better.
Yeah. land of opportunity for elsewhere once you leave here too.
I'm just wondering, are the Titans smart enough to think that they change Brownlee so to make sure that the Jets win a game that then they hence get the first pick?
There you go.
That's positive thinking there, Buck.
They're going to trade away all their players to the bad teams. That way, those bad teams get a little bit better, so they get the number one draft
There
pick.
you go.
There we go. We nailed
Yes.
it.
See, and that's what I think they're doing.
We nailed it.
I don't want anything to do with this. All right, I just again culture of losing.
I think we nailed it. I'm just here for Xavier Restrepo running back propaganda. That's all I'm here for.
I can't tell you things that I would rather not.
I want him
see.
to do the zigzag motion and then they hit.
Well, listen.
Exotic smash
Nothing
map
behind
with
the
Xavier
line of
Restrepo.
scrimmage. Nothing behind the line of scrimmage.
I do, and I think the stands. I mean, I think the fans would all stand up and like, "Oh my God, he's about to get the ball."
There are fans in the stands that move faster than that guy.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing behind the line of scrimmage that way. Don't do that to Xavier Restrepo. Here's the thing about what you have today that you're trying to figure out, because Xavier Woods is also not going to play in this game. We talked about Kevin Winston Jr.
happened?
Yeah.
He's injured. They ruled him out on Friday
I know,
too.
but what is his injury?
I will pull up.
Well, I mean, just leg, arm. I mean, what happened?
think it's leg.
Or was his feelings hurt when Taylor just stuttered and kept going and ran by him? I was so mad. I was literally. I'm done.
Hurt feelings.
I'm done. I'm done.
It is a.
Why would you stop when the line? The
angles on that
sideline is right there.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just keep running? Don't go for the ooh. No, you ding dong. Just run right through him. If you miss and run by him, guess what? The guys are coming.
Yeah.
You just did that. And guess what? The next play, you don't know. They might have thrown an interception. Ooh, a fumble or something, man. Come on. He's been in the league too long. I was disappointed on that play there.
Blaine, the solid players that they have gotten worse. Everybody, but Jeffrey Simmons. God bless Jeffrey Simmons for out there fighting. But like they have players who have been good at professional football before that have gotten worse this season. That's the other part that's irritating.
They get more exposed.
This team.
Well,
It is something. It is something to behold. This team.
Is it?
It is wild to think that this team has gotten worse.
It's like Bird Box. You ever seen Bird Box? That
No,
movie?
I know what you're talking about though. You got the blindfold on.
Yeah, well, no, you got to have a blindfold on, because whatever the bad guy is, the monster is in Bird Box, it'll turn you into a zombie if you lay if you look. It's like Medusa, right?
Yeah.
You turn to stone.
Gotcha.
Oh my!
Turn to stone. You watch this stuff too much.
This is what this team does
Yeah.
to you.
Oh,
All right, predictions today. Does anybody want to make any kind of prediction?
what is Vegas saying?
Vegas says Chargers 9.5.
I don't even look anymore.
point-
I just don't want to look.
Well, that's what I'm here for, Blaine. I'm going to hold your eyes open like Bird Box. 9.5 point favorites are the Chargers in Nashville. So they are. I would take the Chargers to cover. Titans couldn't cover the 14.5 last week. It was the biggest point spread in all of football. They still managed to lose by more than 2 touchdowns. Chargers by 9.5.
Well, okay, what score predict? Do you know?
I will take the Chargers 35-14.
Hey, 1 point,
14? That's
1
bad.
point above their average.
Stop.
I'm president of positivity. That's all I'm saying. All right, my prediction here is if you have FanDuel right now, I would go bet on Chimere DK 40-plus yards for plus 118.
Ooh,
He's gotten 40-plus yards the last 2 weeks, so I would be betting that today.
I like that.
Oh,
There you go. Positivity. I'm not even going to worry about the predicting the game because Chargers are going to win.
Yeah, I'm not even going to look at the points. I just want to see if they can play consistent 3 quarters, and I'm going to take baby steps here. Third quarter.
3 quarters.
3 quarters.
3 quarters first?
Yeah, 3 quarters first. 4 quarters is just impossible.
Yeah.
I'm asking for too much.
There you
I'm
go.
asking for too much.
All right, that will do it for us. This is Blaine Bishop. We got Buck Rising. I'm Zach Lyons. This has been the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff here on 104.5 The Zone. Titans radio coverage is produced by Joseph Bonanno. Studio producer Justin Hawkins. Studio host Lucas Panzica. Promotions Director Rich Ferris. Director of Sales Hunter Rice. General Manager Allison Warren. Operations Manager Paul Mason. Executive Producer Rhett Bryan. See you guys later on Titans Talkback right after the game. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Tighten up.